All righty. What's up, everybody? Thursday means another brand new episode of Parx Sportsbook presents Stick to Hockey Live. Oh my God, there's a ton to discuss today. And it's all presented by Parx Sportsbook. Give them a follow on their social channels at Parx Sportsbook, on Twitter, on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Great content, daily specials, and much more. Plus, if you sign up right now, deposit, no promo required, get a $500 risk-free bet. So go to the App Store, grab the Parx Sportsbook app, and download it. And again, just open up an account, deposit, boom, $500 risk-free bet for your first one. Plus, you can bet on player performances, over-unders, first to score, last to score, exact score. So many different ways to bet all the games, not just hockey, college hoops, pro hoops, everything. You name it. Olympics, it's all there. So check it out, the Parx Sportsbook app. Coming up on today's show, actually, Tone's Takes. So Tone will give you some insight on where to put that first $500 risk-free bet on the Parx Sportsbook app. And our guest today is once again at Sportsology. It is Russ Cohen. And there's a ton to discuss today with Russ. And I thought it was a great idea to get Russ on today. A, because he's a great guest. B, because he's a prospect guy and he can talk about some of these names that are being thrown around as possible compensation coming back towards the Flyers for Claude Giroux. You know, who's got Colorado? Who's Colorado have? What about Florida? Let's look at some of these other teams. So we'll talk trade deadline. We'll talk about the value on the market of Giroux. Talk about the value of Ristolainen as well, Braun, and even Martin Jones. You know, I see some tweets out there in regards to the value for Justin Braun. And I just think the compensation that people are expecting in that deal's a little high. The defense market, there's a lot there right now. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the draft and what's coming up in this year's NHL draft. You know, the on-the-cusp prospects that maybe what the Flyers are looking for, even more so than draft picks. Talk about Jack Eichel's return for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now Stone is out on LTIR. So NHL kind of dealing with that situation again, kind of like it did last year with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we'll also talk about the Nathan McKinnon hit on Nolan Patrick. It was a headshot in that game last night. We know that Nolan Patrick's obviously dealt with head injuries before. So we'll talk about that. Tons to get into. It's another brand new edition of Parx Sportsbook presents Stick to Hockey Live. Russ Cohen will be our guest. Tones, Takes, and much more. Join us coming up at 1 o'clock right here. And we'll talk to you soon on Parx Sportsbook